Hey, all right, welcome back to Estonia, 1944, as we continue the Narva bridgehead Keg Sized Campaign using the chain of command rules, also using the big chain of command rules, and including the at the sharp end campaign supplements, all from Two Fat Lardies. They are awesome. Thank you for everything you do, guys. All right, let's go over the battlefield. We'll talk about the scenario, and we'll just continue to go from there. All right. After the Germans repulsed the Soviets in the last attack at Opole, that was a probe mission. It wasn't really an attack. Excuse me. They were able. Soviets came in. They got done what they wanted to get done. They would have liked to have lost a few less guys, but they kind of let the Germans know they were there, and they were going to start pushing and probing on their defenses. So, boom, there we go. Now we go into attack and defend. Soviets have pivoted, and they're making an attack at a crucial crossroads south of Opole, near Hill 621, which is back there. Here's a quick look at the campaign map. You can see Opole up north of here. The intersection is down to the south. Get a closer look at that. They have to attack through the intersection and out to the northwest to capture the railroad junction. And if we're looking, I am looking from the south to the north. This road runs to the south here, goes down to a vital train junction that is going to be crucial in the future of this attack on Narva, as the Soviets continue to tighten their grip around Army Group North, hoping to cut them off in this salient and just destroy them. Historically, they don't do that here, but they do close. But I think the Germans do retreat farther back, and then after Hitler issues his no retreat order, they get destroyed in the next salient, a little bit to the west of here. Doesn't bode well, but don't tell these guys. I want them to keep fighting. Both forces have brought new troops to the battlefield. They're both using Force 2 in their troop selection. You can see that campaign roster. I'll have a link to that in the description below. And so there'll be 2 fresh platoons for both sides. No effects yet. I think as we start getting deeper and deeper into this campaign, we'll start seeing some really silly forces, which is going to be a lot of fun. That's kind of the joy of doing a campaign. I've never really got into one like this before, so usually I'm almost borderline suicidal with my miniature wargaming. So let's see if I can alter my thought process as I start trying to, have 3 or 4 German guys with some sticks trying to hold off some Soviet tanks later on in game, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So hopefully I'll have altered my tactics by then. We'll see, though. Key features of the battlefield will be of course, the inner crossroads. This small little built-up area here of these buildings. If the Soviets can get in here and push any Germans out 24 inches away from this intersection, it's like automatic victory. They secure the crossroads. Boom, game over. So they've got several little buildings. They got an inn. They've got a little farm. They've got a little pasture back here. I'm not going to put any goats back there because they'd probably get mowed down in about 10 seconds by machine gun fire or mortar fire. Stone walls, kind of following most of these roads to the east and to the south. That should provide some cover and hopefully provide me opportunities to get the rules right for crossing an obstacle, which I screwed up in the last game. Got some small groups of trees. There's a couple of small hills, and then of course the big feature of the battlefield is Hill 621. I might tweak these trees a little bit so if it's not your eyes playing tricks on you later on if you come back and these trees have pushed back. I might bring a couple of them farther back onto the hill. I just thought of that last night and haven't had a chance to do it yet this morning. We'll be playing the attack and defend scenario. A couple things for that I think that we'll see in the patrol phase, and also the victory conditions, which we'll go over real quick. But on the sharp end, also playing this scenario, the Germans get 2 free entrenchments, team-sized entrenchments. So I've got 2 of my sandbag little walls out there that I'll let the Germans deploy with a team or a squad, whichever, and put something behind it for extra cover. Their force drops below 3 on their force morale. It's they're basically going to be out of here. So if one of the, since there are 2 platoons, since we're playing big sharp practice, if one platoon drops down to 3, they will leave the battlefield immediately, and then the other force, or their sister platoon will have to deal with the fallout of that. There's of course bad things that will as one platoon gets blown away, the other, it'll have a morale effect on the other, and I think that's basically it. The real point of the attack and defend is to force the other team off the battlefield, which is always a possibility, but actually forcing them off this crossroads is another is the objective of this one. So a little added bonus to this scenario. First platoon for the Germans, I did finish painting up a box from the Warlord Games, the Pioneer box, so I did make my assault engineers, and I made all the chain of command options for mine clearing, wire clearing, demolitions, and flamethrowers. And then I took whatever was left over and made rifles, is what I was short on for the Germans. So the compositions of these squads is going to be nowhere near as insane as it was in the last game, where I didn't have the rifles, so a lot of the squads had extra assault rifles put in, so they were pretty deadly. We'll say the Germans just had a couple groups of really super strong guys hanging out there. Now they've kind of pulled them back into a more of a support role. Maybe we'll see them later in reinforcements and future force supports. But your typical German rifle squad from the Two Fat Lardies rulebook, you've got a lieutenant or first lieutenant with a Panzerschreck team, 3 rifle squads, each with a NCO, 6 rifles on the rifle squad, and then they've got an attached team with a MG42, a loader, and their extra guy on that team is an assault rifle, and that's consistent throughout the entire German force, first and second platoon. There's my sandbag walls I got from a guy on Etsy. Thank you very much. Here's second platoon down here. Force support wise, they got the new Pioneers, which will get more shots off later. They're a 10-man squad, a little bit different than the rules say, but I just wanted to match what the Soviets had, which I kind of painted up for bolt action. This will be a flamethrower variant, so they'll have a flamethrower and assistant with the rest of the 8 other guys, and they have an NCO. They also have an MG42 thrown in there as well. They got a Pack 40 with a 5-man crew. The Germans will get to bring their I guess, what's it called? Ranking senior leader, excuse me. I almost said prominent, but I think that's more of a sharp practice thing. Doug Carmichael will be in this battle because he did not get hurt last time. And that is it for their force support. 2 platoons for the Soviets are made up of their base unit is these rifle teams, which have 7 riflemen. They have a loader with an SMG and then a magazine-fed light machine gun. And then each NCO has got either a submachine gun or assault rifle. I think I have one NCO with a pistol. If the models have Panzerfaust, they're just going to get lucked out and they can use them. The Soviets don't really have anything to anti-tank to go against, since the Germans don't have any armor in this game. Mikhail Desleret is he's out for this game. He's just hanging out here. There will be a 81mm mortar, which usually in chain of command is not on the table, but I've kind of consulted a friend of mine who is a mortarman in the Marine Corps, and I've kind of come up with suitable minimum ranges and damage compared to a light mortar. Or there's another kind of a strange thing you'll see in 1944. I did look them up. They were active until 1945, mostly on garrison duty, but a KV-2. Soviets know they're going up against a defended obstacle, so they wanted they didn't have an ISU-152 in the area yet, or an SU-152 in the area yet, so they wanted a large gun to blow away any kind of dug-in Germans, so they rolled this KV-2 up, pumped it full of gas. So the rules for KV2s aren't in the sharp practice, the chain of command book that I own. So I'm just using a KV1's armor and then using the gun stats from the SU-152. So about the same gun, maybe a little bit shorter length, but it's going to hit just as hard, and it's going to be just firing HE and blowing people away. So Soviets have 2 squads, 2 senior lieutenants. Got their sergeants for each squad. Each platoon, of course, commanded by that senior lieutenant I told you about. For force support, they get the pre-game barrage, which is awesome for the Soviets. I think it kind of clanks down on 1s and 2s you can't come in on. I'll double check those rules. There's the scout squad. There's the assault engineer squad. They have their own flamethrowers. I'm going to give them an extra cover against small arms because of the body armor they have. I don't have any rules on that, so I'm going to try to incorporate some of the bolt action rules. There's the mortar, and then we get back to the squads, and Mike's just hanging in there for moral support, but he's not coming in. I might have to hide him off to the side. The Soviets will not have the luxury of having that extra senior leader off board and to bring their forces in. They'll have to hold one of their senior leaders to prevent making it difficult to bring troops on the table. No, those trees didn't move. I just tweaked them a little bit right there because I just thought of that last night. Wanted to rectify that mentally so I can continue on and not have my attention depth disorder bother me while I record this. All right, so there is the forces we've gone over. We have seen the board, we've gone over the terrain. That's it. We're just going to go ahead and do the patrol phase. And then we'll do force morale, and then we'll, boom, Soviet turn 1 coming at you after that. The Germans have deployed their 18 initial patrol phase markers. They have 18 inches off the map, edge of the board. And then the Soviets are going to start on the road. Roll 1d6 to how many free moves they get, and then we'll go from there. Soviets did pretty good on their patrol phase. There's going to be some fighting immediately in this town. They got right behind this building, which is awesome. They were able to push one just left of town, or just south of town, or southeast, I guess would be the direction of these trees. Another group of trees back here on this elevated position, looking down at the town to be a good base of fire. And then one on the far right. Germans got their one up on the hill behind these trees with the probably an awesome Pac 40 spot, if I don't mind saying. Little fire across everything. They got one in town in the little pasture here, but devoid of animals. There's one right behind this building here, and they got one on their right. These trees over here. All right, force morale roll for the Soviets. These will both have -1s to them thanks to their high casualties. The men's opinion is not so robust with their chain of command, which I doubt it was during the entire war. Still, force morales of 18. If you haven't seen the last game, yeah, please do, of course. And I am using a modified force morale just for the first at least 5 games, just to see if it works. I think as I get more and more armor on the battlefield, it'll be, and the casualties start racking up. I think it's going to pay dividends. I'm going to have at least one game where I'm just going to blow the force morale out of the water and have multiple tanks, especially for the Soviets coming on in like wild people. Okay, so they're both at 18. Germans are going to be even on this roll for their force morale for both platoons. First platoon is going to rock an 18 force morale. Second platoon must be amped up. They must just come back from like an awesome party or something like that, or they're super hyped. They got all the doctrine pumped into them. Extra videos on how to love the Third Reich. 'Cause they're sitting at 20. They're gonna be bringing it, baby. Second platoon. We are ready to go. All right, man. Here comes Soviet first phase of the game as they attempt to capture the crossroads near Hill 621. All right. All right, Soviet first platoon's up. Well, I got to put these chain of command dice back to 0 for everybody. All right, Soviets get a worthless 6, 2 chain of command points for first platoon, and they got a 1 and a 2, which they put together to make a 3, and they bring in one of their squads. They occupy the left-hand side of this inn on the first and second floor. They've got guns going out, a lot of windows and doors up here, and they're on overwatch immediately by their junior leader, trying to shut down as much of the town as possible before the Germans even get in here. All right, German first platoon responding. All right, first platoon gets 3 chain of command points, which is awesome. They got a 3 and a 2 as well, so they're going to try to bring in a squad. Coming in through the Russian pre-game barrage is going to be just a blast. And they get a -1 to that, so 1, 2, 3, or 4, they're not coming in. So we're going to try a squad first, and then we'll see what happens after that. That first squad gets disrupted on the way in as they get hammered by Soviet ZIS-3s, just pounding the back lines. Now they're going to try to bring in another squad, but and bring their junior leader, but not be able to get orders right away. Squad deploys behind these buildings off that jump-off point. German plan right now is to kind of mass up and then attack the Soviets, but yeah, at least they want to have a presence, and it's tough to get into this barrage. But at least they got a unit in. We'll go over to Soviet turn platoon 2. Soviets bring in a medium mortar behind these trees over here on the north end of the battlefield. Minimum range is 30 inches if you use the chain of command ground scale and the specs for a medium mortar. Be hitting. They'll follow the usual artillery kind of rules for trying to spot and adjusting fire, but they're not going to have a huge area effect. It's going to be a single mortar with basically a 6-inch blast radius, affecting 6 hit dice on everything in that very area of effect, reducing cover by 1. We'll see how that works, and we'll go from there. It's almost like a template bringing it to chain of command. That's the one they come in on, and they are, the 30 inches is just short of that pasture there, so they're going to be able to pound that entire area, and they've got a great line of sight. This platoon had 2 chain of command dice, I think, and they also have a 2 and a 1 left over, which they're put together to make a 3 to bring a squad in. Second platoon brings in a squad next to the mortar team, basically with their spotter kind of poking through the woods. That basically protects the mortar team, will keep them viable. Might be a bit of a waste of a force, but keeping that mortar active and keeping it shooting is going to be clutch for this assault on the crossroads. I already got a bad feeling about this German defense of this crossroads. Not going, just got a little apprehensive here for the Germans. I don't know. I think they're gonna get caught in a crossfire and just mowed to pieces. German second squad up and at them. Second platoon gets a chain of command die. They're going to try to bring in the Pack 40 immediately. See if they can get a 5 or a 6 to get through this barrage. Pack 40 comes in with their junior leader and behind an entrenchment, and they're immediately going to unload a high explosive, I think it's a 76 millimeter round, and we'll show you where here in a second. He's got the binos out. He's like, oh yeah, let her loose, baby. Dude in the back's opening up a case of beer. They're here to stay. He's got tons of ammunition back there. Gonna unload on the top floor of that building. Well, any floor. They're gonna try to vaporize it with high explosive rounds. She's a 75 millimeter gun throwing 5 high explosive dice into that building, reducing cover by 1. Boom! 3 hits in the open because it reduces cover. They're going to turn that building into a living hell. Good luck, baby! Shell detonates against a building, killing one Soviet, putting 1 point of shock on those guys. Chance the junior leaders hit on a 1 and 6. First casualty of the battle, killed by a 75 millimeter German high explosive round against the inn. Soviet rifleman just incinerated looking out the window. What's that smoke? Soviets could use their overwatch from they have guys in the 2 windows. No, I'm gonna shoot back. Maybe 4 rifles firing across at these guys. I changed my mind. Long range firing back at these guys dug in the entrenchment. I think these are considered hard cover too with the gun shield, so that's going to be just an absolute blast. 4 shots, looking for 5s and 6s. No effect. Germans don't even duck down. They just start ranging the next shell in to hammer those guys again. Going back to Soviet 1st platoon. Soviets bring in their 9-man engineering squad with their junior leader behind the inn and town, and then a little to their south off this southern jump off point they bring in a standard rifle platoon with a LMG magazine fed to support the rest of the village as they continue to put the vice on this town, hopefully getting a quick victory before the Germans can even get in here. No shooting as the Soviet 1st platoon gets done with that. They also picked up 2 more chain of command points. German 1st platoon is up, see what they can do. They pick up a 2nd chain of command die, and they got a 2 and a bunch of 4s. Alright, I'm going to try to bring in a squad through the relentless Soviet bombardment. Bringing a squad, they're able to get them in on a 2. They can't fire. They come in on the south side of the town, up on that hill, in light cover. And they're going to try to bring in, they've got 2 4s, they're going to try to bring in at least 1 senior leader now, and then if he can't get through the bombardment, they'll try to bring a 2nd one in. Germans in fuego. 1st lieutenant comes in, just starts barking orders immediately. Everybody thought they're going to chill out for a little while because the bombardment was so intense. He's going to rip some bullets at those Soviets across the way. I don't know if I can even zoom on them. Oh, there they are in the trees. That senior leader's got 3 commands. 1 command ordered the squad to fire, and then the other 2 commands will be on machine gewehr. I think they have 6 rifles and an LMG. Assault rifle might not be in range, and they have 1 SMG. 6 rifles, 1 LMG, and then 2 extra dice with machine gewehr against these Germans at effective range in light cover. Or these are Soviets, sorry. Looking for 5s and 6s. 7 hits in light cover on these Soviets. Wow. Captain Carmichael must have been taking his boys to the range as they get 1 kill. Put 4 shock on this rifle squad. They don't know what to do. That's gonna hurt. 1 in 6 chance that sergeant is killed in that barrage. First platoon loses their 2nd rifleman of the day. Battle's just starting, baby. 2 casualties already. Germans are going to forego using their last 4. They're content with that right now. No point bringing in Captain Carmichael yet. Entering off the 2nd platoon. Let's see what they can do. Alright, 2nd platoon. They get a 1 chain of command dice, bringing them up to 3. They've got 3 3s and a 4, which is beautiful. They might bring in the whole shebang bang. 2nd platoon is fully deployed as they bring the KV-2 on the road. He goes on Overwatch immediately. Brings in 2 other squads here in the trees or behind the hill, trying to stay out of the sight of the Pack 40. They both go on Overwatch looking for Germans to make a movement. And with their last 3, they bring in the junior leader commanding the scout squad. He occupies the second half of the inn. They go on Overwatch with their submachine guns and rifles in those 2 floors of this side of the inn. Oh yeah, baby. KV-2 looking to smash. Nice. Alright. That's the end of Soviet 2nd platoon. Going to German 2nd platoon. Oh, I lied. These guys, the senior leader came in over here. He's going to command this mortar to launch an 81mm shell. A crew member can see the Germans. Trying to get a view with my tripod is killing me. Yeah, there we go. We lower it down. You can see them. That's all that matters, baby. So, check those rolls, see what happens. Boom, incoming, my friend. Splash out. This is going to lead to any confusion. This dude's pointing to the left, the officer's pointing to the right. No one knows where this guy's got kind of looking around. Oh, as long as they're listening to this, the lady with the, where's she at? Oh, there she is, blended into that tree, sorry. She's got the radio, so that's all that matters. All right, we'll roll 2d6 to see where this land rounds compared to where they're aiming for.
Dog 7, fire mission. Enemy troops, estimate.
Oh, he bullseyes that womp rat. 6 dice, 6 damage points, reducing cover by 1. Good luck, my friends.
Coordinates 179er 3.
All right, 4 hits in the open. Let's see how these guys do with these high explosive rounds. 1 kill, 2 shock. Let's see if the sergeant takes some fragmentation in the head. German 1st platoon suffers a casualty as that rifleman gets just detonated against the side of that building. Oh, they're gonna take off and run. And then we go on to German 2nd platoon after that. They go up to 4 chain of command points. We're getting chain of command points this game at least. They're going to try to bring in stuff to the barrage. We're going to try to bring in a squad first, then possibly a team. The squad fails miserably. Let's bring a team in. Probably should have fired the Pack 40. That'd have been smarter. Oh, I forgot. But too bad, so sad. All right. Yeah. I got 1 left over. But they have a junior leader, so it's... Does that work? Can they fire without their junior leader? Stand by. I'll use the one on the Panzerschreck team. Stupid Steve. Oh, fail. Okay. My bust. That won't be the last mistake tactically this game. So that's the end of the German phase, and that ends 2 rounds, which I'm not going to be keeping track of. But every time I go around the world twice, I think I'll do a little follow-up here, a little circle the battlefield. Soviets tightening their grip on the crossroads, bringing the KV-2 in. Assault engineers, they've got troops in this two squads in there. One of them's taking a high explosive round, but they're still pretty good. These guys got wore out by the Germans across the way. German squad between the buildings gets mortared to little, they got hammered. 2 shock and 1 casualty. These guys have I think 1 shock in the inn over here as they took the high explosive round. And the Soviets got a big overwatch here going on. We've got a squad down here, mortars firing in. We've got a senior leader back there, and then, Pack 40 time. Soviet 1st Platoon, getting real up in here. Let's get it. All right, for their first 3 they got there. Plus they got a full chain of command dice, which is awesome. These guys are going to take off at full speed because they are in the view sight of the anti-tank gun up on the hill. They're going to charge around the corner and see what they can do. Alright, they use the 3 to activate their junior leader. He orders the assault engineers around the corner. They're in the streets. Germans are right around the corner here. They do have a chain of command dice, so if these guys jump out, we're going to get ourselves an interrupt, and they're going to get a mouthful of flames. So they had a 2 and a 1 left, so they're going to put that together to make a 3. Activate this junior leader on the squad to the far south of the battlefield. He has 2 commands. He's going to use 1 to pull one of their 4 shock, knocking them down to 3. Then he's going to order the whole shebang bang to cut loose on the Germans at the top of the hill. On the grassy knoll. Squad's got 7 rifles, 1 magazine-fed light machine gun, firing at effective range at the Germans in light cover. So rolling the hits first, we got effective range. They're average troops, they need 5s or 6s. Each rifle will be a single shot, and then the magazine-fed light machine gun will be 6 shots. So 13 shots. Scoring 5 hits on those Germans in light cover. Light cover, you're looking at 1, 2s, and 3s miss, 4s and 5s are shock, 6s are kills. Putting 1 shock on those gentlemen. 1 person's killed. Let's see if it's the sergeant. It's a 1 in 6 chance. I did forget to take away 1 dice for these guys, but that's okay. The Germans rolled so good before. They'll lose 1 rifleman though. Take away 1 firepower for every 2 points of shock a squad or a team or a weapon system has. First platoon loses a 2nd man. Alright, I think it's on to German Platoon 1. Germans are going to try to bring in a squad. Here we go. 6 inches from that deployment point in the middle of town, Germans bring in a squad. They can't, the entrenchment they have is only for a team basically, so the MG42 and his 2 guys are actually outside of the entrenchment off to the side, but the rifle team or part of the squad is all dug in there in full cover. The big thing about it was it's 6 inches back from that entrenchment, but it's 13 inches from the flamethrower, so they're out of range for the flamethrower. They're also out of range of all of the SMGs in there, so basically only guy that could shoot them if they chose to interrupt would be the light machine gun. So I don't think I'm going to waste that. So they're just going to have to take it in the open. 7 rifles, 2 assault rifles, and an MG42 at 13 inches. 11 hits in light cover on the assault engineers. 5 shock and 1 dead on the assault engineers. 1 in 6 chance the sergeant is hit. They lose 1 guy. They spent their 3. They're going to put a 1 and a 2 together to make another 3 and activate another junior leader. The junior leader under the mortar barrage is going to move 1d6 and try to engage the assault engineers and get out of the way of the mortar barrage. Alright, they move out into the street 5 inches. Their sergeant pulled 1 shock. He's going to try to activate them, but first things first, these guys are going to spend their chain of command dice to interrupt and absolutely try to murder these guys. Oh, machine gun bullets, and they kick off the flamethrower, and it's probably going to be brutal. Actually, I forgot, it's only one team can do this, so the flamethrower team is going to be the one that fires. I forgot they are an integral team inside of the engineering squad. So the flamethrower is going to fire at these guys. There is 5 shock involved. I'm not even sure if that even affects him at all. So it does affect them. So 10 infantry flames coming down the hallway. Ah, it's going to be rough. All right, 8 hits on that team. 8 hit on that group there. I should have split them. I'm going to split the casualties because there's two teams in there. Doubling shock. The rifle team is killed. Let's see if it's the sergeant. And you can see the shock is building up quick. Alright, so they finished their movement. They're both pinned now. So they would be firing at half firepower because they moved. And plus now they are firing half firepower of that. So, because they're pinned. So they're going to be firing at 25% as best I can tell. 5 rifles, 2 assault rifles, and an LMG. With all the pins in the world. They end up with 5 shots, but with their pins, they lose 5 shots. So they don't shoot at all. Wow. That's embarrassing. The 1, they aren't going to do anything, but they're 4. This gentleman is going to pull a shock, activate the unit, the senior leader. Actually, the junior leader will pull a shock. And fire the unit. And then the senior leader who's in there, I only have a 4. Oh, I'm getting all crazy style. Okay, forget all that. Okay, I've only got a senior leader, so he has 3 commands. 1, he'll pull a shock. 2, he'll order everyone to fire. That's all he can do. I was trying to get a machine gun out of there somehow, but I'll get down to 0 and then just fire at these gentlemen across here again at effective range. They have 5 rifles, an assault rifle, and an MG42. 6 hits on the Soviets in light cover. Soviets aren't winning this firefight. They are up to 6 shock now. They're losing a guy. See if it's a sergeant. Oh, the junior leader gets popped. Let's see what kind of damage he takes. He is wounded and goes down to 1 command. That's to be a bad thing for a junior leader wounded. That'll cause first platoon to drop 2 points. They're down to 16 force morale. They do not lose a guy because the leader was the one who got nailed. All right, and that'll wrap up first platoon for the Germans. We move on to second platoon for the Soviets. What a nightmare! I got 2 3s, a 4, and a 1 to work with. The 6 is worthless. Maybe 2. They're going to the junior leader's going to use that 3, activate the driver, and they're going to move forward 2d6. KB2 is a slow beast, advancing 8 inches up the road. He gets no bonus for being on the road. Just try to not fall into the same trap we did last time, where the tank had 0 impact on the battlefield. I want to get him up in here and do some damage. Mortar has nothing to shoot at. The Germans ran away from that. So other 3, this squad is going to move forward 2d6. Well, heck, we'll go forward 3d6 and take 1 shock. They advanced 9 inches. Trying to get to that wall and get over it. Get some protection from the Pac 40. That'll end the platoon 2 for the Soviets' turn. Go on to platoon 2 for the Germans. We have 2 5s and a worthless 6. With the 2 5s, they go up to a full chain of command dice, and they end the turn. All right, everyone is all the overwatches come off. The pin units are still pinned, and the Russian artillery barrage is over. Platoon's going to bring in their senior leader and put him with the Pac 40 and order it to fire. And fire a high explosive round at those Soviets in the open. Have fun. Fire! 2 hits in the open. You guys took 2 additional shock from that Pac 40 blast, and now they're up to 3 as they try like heck to get over this wall. I was thinking about bringing the German senior leader in down here, but he just couldn't pull enough shock. I mean, they're sitting in a combined 11 shock. They're not going to move anywhere. Get sacrificed to the flame gods here in a minute. Alright, we're on to Russian 1st Platoon, or Soviet, sorry, which could spell the end of this German squad in here. The flamethrower's got 2 more shots. Alright, they get 1 additional chain of command point. They get a worthless 6. They got a 4 for a senior leader, and they'll put a 2 and a 1 together, make a 3, I'm sure. By putting their 2 and the 1 together, they bring in their last squad. They're on the outside of this inn, moving into town. They're going for broke here. The 4 brings in the senior leader in the inn with those troops. He's within 12 inches of the assault engineers, so he pulls 2 shock with 2 commands, lowering down to 3, and then he uses his last command to order them to assault the Germans. Yes, assault time in the streets with the barbecue. Soviets will move forward 1d6. They don't have to get within 4 inches of these guys. The flamethrower will not be active for this one, but could be rough for the old Germans being pinned. I think if you have 4 times more than the enemy, you have an automatic wipe. This could be it. I haven't even started adding yet, but let's see how it goes. After all the higher math that I had to do, what a struggle. The Germans have 5 dice and the Soviets have 26. So the Germans are going to immediately fall back. I think they run 3d6, and they'll be routing with their back to the enemy. I think they would run right through their buddies back here and give them a bunch of shock, but the entrenchment will kind of funnel them around it, so that'll save them. Oh, they rout. Only 7 inches, not too far, but we're talking massive amounts of shock. The rifle team has 14, the machine gun team has 13. They're both broken. There's no coming back, baby. And they're taking their junior leader with them. All right, we're going to have all the bad things. We're going to have team breaks, a section breaks, junior... No, he's not. He didn't break yet. He might get off the table, though. All right, that's them. Just those 2 bad things. Actually, they might route farther because once you transition to being broken, I think you go even farther. So give me 2 seconds. Won't feel like a half a second to you. Yeah, once they hit broken status, they run another 2d6 plus 6. That'll route them off the table, which isn't a bad thing in a campaign. There's going to be a lot of bad things in this battle, but these guys don't count as casualties. They're immediately returned to the unit after for the next brawl or whenever they have to be done again. So these guys aren't killed. So not horrible. It's probably a good thing the hand-to-hand didn't happen. And no, I did not plan that, but I'll remember that in the future. So now we get team breaks, section breaks, junior leader routes from table. German 1st Platoon loses 5 force morale. That was a big one. They go down to 13. Oh, it's not going to help. But the preparatory bombardment, or whatever you want, I think initially, I can't remember what it's called. I think that's right. Is gone, so the Germans will be able to freely enter the battlefield now. And speaking of 1st Platoon, it's their turn. Not the best roll. Wasted 6, 2 4s for 2 senior leaders, which, I don't know, and a 3 and a 2. Alright, could have used some better dice in this one. I wanted to bring in a senior leader over here, but couldn't do it because then there would be no senior leader off board, and it would be basically like coming in through that bombardment to get on the board. It's more difficult to get on the board if you never played Chain of Command before, if there's not a senior leader off board directing troops. So I've already got, unfortunately, brought 2 senior leaders already on the board for the Germans, and Captain Carmichael's still off. So he's going to stay off the board. Could have used him though. So brought in a team on the 2, which is a flamethrower team with his 2 guys. These guys are awesome. The miniatures are phenomenal. They came in and they're going to fire their 2 SMGs and their flamethrower at the assault engineers in the open. Also, 6 inches away from this deployment point is this building. So another squad came in on the 3, and they occupy this building, and they can fire 2 weapons out that window, 2 weapons out that door, and 2 weapons out that upstairs roof. Not a lot of windows in some of these Panteal style houses from Charlie Foxtrot, but that's kind of cool. The front side's got all kinds of balconies and everything else, so they're going to be shooting other directions here later on. All right, that's what we got. This dude's got gas masks on and goggles and all kinds of crap. They're awesome. I can't really see that guy behind him. Yeah, he's got like goggles over his face too, and some kind of a cloth covering his mouth so he doesn't get hit by the back blast of the flamethrowers. Don't want to waste that 4, so with this 4, the senior leader to the south of them will command this squad to open up on their nemesis across the field, and the lieutenant will use the 2 extra commands he has to do machine gewehr. Start off with this squad in the building. Let me add up what they got. Shooting point blank range into these gentlemen. 15 shots coming out of those buildings into light cover because of their body armor. They choke a little bit, getting 7 hits on those guys, execution style, in light cover. Let's see what they can do to them. 2 kills, 2 shocks. They're up to 5 shock now. 1 or 2 will be the junior leader getting hit. Junior leader's hit, so only 1 guy will die outside of him, and he'll take a wound to be down to 1 command. Sorry, I rolled that right above it. I didn't zoom out enough. They lose an SMG, and the junior leader eats up the other wound. Alright, now the flamethrower and 2 SMGs firing at 6 inches. Alright, 8 shots from the submachine guns at this range. Red die will be the flamethrower. I take that back because the flamethrower is going to have 12 shots. Anything that isn't a white dice is going to be the flamethrower. SMGs score 5 hits in light cover. The flamethrower gets 6 with no cover at all, doubling shock. 3 dead, 8 shock, taking them to 13 shock. They're going to rout, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, or 3, the junior leader's hit again. If he goes to 0 commands, he dies. Junior leader's hit. 2 engineers are killed. They go to 13 shock. They will break. Let's see what kind of wound the junior leader takes. Takes another wound. He is killed. These guys are going to route 2d6 plus 6 away from the enemy. Alright, those guys route down the road. Going to the town is brutal, guys. It's going to be real a big buzzkill for these other guys as they're running into town. These guys are half on fire and stuff. So we get bad. I think the triple threat, just like the Germans just had a minute ago. Section break, team breaks, junior leader killed. Wow, they dropped 6 force morale out of 10. That was pretty brutal. Starting to believe in my enhanced force morale checker, because there's a lot of fighting still. Germans even aren't fully deployed yet. We got tanks coming into the room. We got mortars going to be landing all over the city. It's going to be awesome. Guys are going to load on their friends on the south side as the firefight continues from woods to woods at effective range. Germans have 4 rifles, 1 assault rifle, and a belt-fed MG42, which does have 2 extra dice with a machine gewehr from the senior leader. Soviets take 5 more hits and light cover. Soviets in those woods are up to 9 shock with 9 guys, so they are not doing too well against their German counterparts. Oh, they do have some help here, so hopefully these guys can get up there and cause some damage too, or at least give these guys some relief. Plus their leader's down to 1 command. That'll end German 1st platoon's phase. We go on to Soviet 2nd platoon's phase. Soviets get a chain of command dice. They get a 4 for a senior leader, and they get a 2 and 2 1s. See what I can do with it. Might not be terrible. And yeah, and they're up to 4 chain of command points over there on their counter. Okay. Uh-oh. KV2 uses the 1 and the 2 put together. Junior leader activates 1st command, main gun firing at that building that those troops the Germans just occupied. It's going to put a shell right through that balcony window. I guess it doesn't matter with a 152 millimeter gun. Also, his 2nd command is going to order the front medium machine gun to also unload on that building. So feel the wrath of the assault gun, my friends. The belt-fed medium machine gun is going to be at effective range with 10 shots. The 152 millimeter howitzer is at close range with 13 shots, reducing cover to in the open on those guys. That house could be turning into a crematorium here really quick. 152 millimeter howitzer gets 9 hits. 9! I love when Andre from Tabletop CP says that with the Germans. And then the medium machine gun hits 4 times. Alright, medium machine gun gets light cover. The Death Star, there is no cover. And people from Alderaan can tell you that one. Boom, sucker! 5 shock on the rifle team, 3 shock on the MG42 team. They're both going to be pinned. 1 in 6 chance for the leader to be killed, because there was 2 killed. And then the machine gun team's going to lose a guy. Sergeant takes fragmentation to his chest. He's wounded. Let's see what happens. Oh, he's wounded and can't be activated next turn, which is not horrible. Both guys are pinned, which isn't horrible either, as they are probably got the crap scared out of them with that huge shell exploding into the building. With the 4, this senior leader down here is going to order this squad forward 2d6. They have advanced 10 inches into the Estonian plains, looking for trouble. That'll end Soviet Platoon 2 to go on to German Platoon 2. They get 2 chain of command points, and then a 3 and a 2. 1, sorry. So they can make 2 3s out of that. They're bringing reinforcements to the village off this jump off point down here, with this squad coming in with their machine gun team. They come in behind that building 6 inches off the jump off point, and with their last 3 they're going to fire their Pack 40 at those guys in the open again. It's not the best HE weapon out there, but it's getting the job done. 5 HE in the open. Those guys didn't get a chance to move. Just 2 hits on those gentlemen. That takes them up to 4 shock. I don't think I placed my senior leaders very well for either side for this battle. And there's just so many options to keep firing. It's just not enough dice in the world, but that's chain of command, baby. You got to make these decisions, and you know, probably half the ones I'm making aren't good ones. All right, give me a second. We're gonna do around the world, and then we'll be right back for Soviet Platoon 1. Still no double phases. Interesting. They were late in coming last game. All right, so Soviet platoon on the south end down here, still in these woods, losing the firefight to their Germans. Got some help on the way. I need to start using these troops that are in this inn. They're kind of gone on sabbatical. I know they will be, but they need to start doing something. These Germans have been winning the firefight. They brought in reinforcements on the back northwest side of the hill. These guys got pounded into the ground by the KV-2 down there. Flamethrower team came in, wait for the rest of his group to come in. These Germans kind of are in this entrenchment at the end of the street, just waiting to kill people. It hasn't happened that much. Soviet assault squad running out of the town in terror. They're broken. Reinforcements trying to come in across the open ground, but they're getting hit by the Pack 40. KV-2 probably needs to move forward and eliminate the Pack 40 at some point, even though it's not having that much of an impact. But that 152mm gun is going to be the Death Star. Soviets are also sending forward more squads. Mortars gone silent as the Germans have basically given up this entire. The mortars denied this entire side of the battlefield to the Germans. And I'd love to put guys in that pasture there. I'd love to occupy these buildings, but you're just going to get mortared to bits. Pack 40 just doing his thing, waiting for the KV-2. Sniping. Yeah, it's not sometimes what you kill, it's what you take away from the enemy. The mortar is kind of making me like, oh gosh, I can't do that. So not the biggest impact player, but really behind the scenes doing quite a bunch. And then that thing was, that was really what I was looking forward to when I painted this model, was just the derp gun just hammering away. All right, and that's the battlefield. Lots to do, lots to still happen, and force morale's dropping like it's hot. Soviet first platoon is down to 10. Soviet second platoon is still unaffected at 18. I think let's zoom over here, sorry. As we fly across the battlefield. Germans are down to 13, and they're still maxed on their other platoon, and my wife's calling. All right, let's roll for Soviet Platoon 1. Yes, first double phase of the battle. A 3, a 1, and a 2. Probably put the 1 and the 2 together, make a 3. All right, I changed my mind there. With the 2, this squad's going to activate. They're going to run across the street and see if they can get in that building. And then the 3 and the 1, the senior leader in here is going to activate both of these squads that are in here and pull a shock off the squad in the building to the right. Or this squad's going to run 2d6 and try to get behind that stone wall, take fire off the squad behind them. The scout team that's in this building, they're going to run 1d6, come out of the building onto the street, and see how far they can get. The scout squad comes out of the building, losing the 2. Basically just get out the door with a 3-inch, and they're on the street. They can't do any shooting, but they're out there. And then the last squad in that building is going to fire everything out of the building, out of the windows and doors at that beat down squad that's pinned. They'll be in hard cover. Alright, 15 shots coming out of that building at effective range against these guys in hard cover. 7 hits in hard cover, split between the 2 teams. MG42 teams up to 5 shock, rifle teams up to 7. Getting near the breaking point here. One more KV2 or KV1 round, probably, or it is KV2, sorry, probably be the end of it. All right, on to German platoon 1. See what they can do. Check that. I forgot I double phase. Back to Soviet platoon 1. Haha! So rusty on a double phase. There we go. Another double phase. A 1, and a 3. Soviet's going to pour it on with this fresh squad behind the hard cover, firing up at the Germans in the woods. Yeah, good luck, baby. They're going to put the 2 1s together to make that, to fire on them, and then they're going to use the 3 to fire that rifle squad again at the building where the pin squad is getting zapped. Range is 19 inches, just outside of close range. Alright, let's count them up and see what they can do. 7 rifles and 1 magazine-fed light machine gun. 6 hits on those Germans in light cover. 1 dead, 1 shock on the rifle team. Chance for the, I think there's a senior leader there too. Chance for the junior or senior leader to be hit. Leaders, let's see what happens. Junior leader takes the round. Let's see what his damage is like. Rifle team takes a shock. Junior leader takes a wound. First one, he's down to 1 command. 15 more shots coming out of here against that building. 8 hits on hard cover, split between both teams. Alright, the machine gun team has got 6 shock with 3 guys, so they break. They're going to run 2d6 plus 6. I also forgot to do the bad thing for this junior leader getting hit, so we'll do those both at the same time. First platoon drops down to 12, and second platoon goes down to 18. Let's see how far these guys route. Oh no! Well, that's where they get to. They route that far. Things aren't looking good for the home team, and the double phase continues with more Soviet goodness. Worthless 6, a 3, and 3 1s. Run this squad out of the street. 2d6, take away the lowest dice, and get inside that building. Scout squad occupies that building there. Plenty of opportunities to fire off balconies and windows and doors at these gentlemen as they concentrate fire on them. Oh no! Looking crazy up in here. Okay, and then with the other 3, this squad will fire again at these guys, try to break them. Kind of choke there and get 4 hits on those guys. It's all one team though now. They're up to 9 shock with 6 guys in there. Oh, all right, finally. Ends the Soviet platoon 1's phase. All right, the Germans have a 4, a 3, and a 2 to work with. With the 3, they bring in a second squad right there. And they're going to open up on that building with that scout squad inside. With the 2, that squad is going to unload at the same building. and combined firepower. And then with the 4, senior leader's going to activate this squad here to move forward 6 inches, also fire on that building, and then use his last 2 commands to machine gewehr. Oh, so that's going to get hit. I don't know. I have enough dice for the amount of. This is going to be like Bonnie and Clyde getting the building ripped to pieces. These guys are going to fire at half firepower, but everyone else is going to be cutting loose. All right, 42 shots from the firing squad going into this building at close range. To beat the odds, 23 hits in soft cover in the building. Oh, it's like bullets coming out the back of this damn thing. 4 dead, 8 shock, 1 and 2, 3, or a 4. The junior leader is mowed down. Scout squad is mowed down to 5 guys with 8 shock. They're pinned immediately inside the building. They're crawling around looking for any kind of material to hide behind after all those bullets went through the walls. Go on to Soviet platoon 2. Chain of command dice taking them up to 5. They get a double phase, and they also have a 2 and a 4, which, ugh. This senior leader is going to order this squad forward, and with his command, and then with this command, these guys are going to go forward with the 2. Soviets advancing across towards town for the ultimate nightmare. All right, second phase. Get a worthless 6, 2 chain of command points, which actually gives them 1 full chain of command dice and an extra 1. And with the 3, they're going to fire the KV-2. Junior leader on the KV-2 is going to get his tank to advance, and his second command is going to fire the main gun at that building. KV-2 rumbling towards town, unloads another 152 millimeter shell at that building behind the other building. Good luck, those guys are in trouble. 16 shots hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s, reducing cover down to light cover since they are pinned. Shell blasts into the building, 9 hits in light cover. KV-2 keeping up its reputation. Oh, 6 shock, 1 kill. That squad's going to be just driven out of the building. Let's see if the sergeant's killed by that explosion. Team breaks. That's a 1. No effect. All right. For the 2, this team's going to try to get across the wall. But they have 4 shock and don't move at all. All right, Soviet is done. We go on to German platoon 2. Not a very good roll. Put the 1 and 2 together, make a 3. Activate a team on a 1, and then pick up 1 chain of command point and worthless 6. With the 1, second platoon is going to bring in their Panzer Shrek with his assistant, and they're going to take a rocket launch at the KV-2. With the 1 and the 2, the PaK 40's got a hold down shot at the KV-2 as well, so he's going to unload on him too. Both the Panzer Shrek, let's see what the range is, see what range band he's in. 18 inches, launching the missile, a rocket. The KV-2 did move last turn, it's going to be a little bit tougher, plus it's hold down with the stone wall. The KV-2 cannot move flat out, so let's get the -1 with the range band, and then it'll be harder to hit because the target's partially obscured. So we're looking for a 7 or more. 8 or more, excuse me, with the range band. Panzer Shrek has got a 13 on its warhead. The KV-2 has got an armor of 8. And yeah, that should be it. So they roll and then You roll all those dice, and then 5s and 6s I think are what you're looking for, and then you compare the number of 5s and 6s. Oh, 5 net hits. The armor of the KV-2 fails miserably. So it's going to get blown up. It just basically, if it rolls high on the table, it's going to inflict damage on these guys that are right here too. More pain. Table goes up to 3, and I've got 5. I'm going to add a +2 to this roll just because there's got to be some kind of bonus for just being a badass and hitting them so hard. KV-2 explodes, showering these guys with fragmentation. They take 4 hits in the open. They're up to 6 shock and a dead. Oh, brutal. Chance of sergeant's hit. Second platoon for the Soviets loses another rifleman. Pack 40 seeing the KV-2 explode. They're going to rotate their gun a little bit, fire through the top floor of that building. High explosive round detonates in there for hitting 3 of them. Reducing them to the open, killing 1 man, getting a shock on that squad. Chance that the sergeant's killed. Well, this is a senior leader in there too. Alright, first platoon loses another rifleman in that building to a high explosive round from the Pack 40 to take 1 shock on that squad. And wow, done with another phase. I seesawing back and forth. I really thought the Soviets had it. They still could. Just gonna overwhelm, but I was really like, yeah, we got this. And then I really thought the KV-2 would be able to hold out against at least a couple shots from the Panzerschreck or the Pack 40. Kind of picked that spot so we'd have cover from both of them, and just choked on that defensive roll. All right. Scout squad idea. Felt like it was a great idea, but I just thought of that one right afterwards. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll shoot him with all these guys. All right, here comes the Soviets, platoon 1. I almost forgot. Okay, platoon 2 was controlling the KV-2 when it got detonated. So we get bad thing for junior leader killed. There's also in big chain of command, platoon 1 suffers a bad thing happened roll because the AFE was destroyed in the other, so it's a double whammy. Alright, so we got an AFV knocked out, -2 points for first platoon. First platoon's in a free-for-all, they're down to an 8. Second platoon now takes a junior leader killed. And second platoon takes a -2 from a junior leader getting killed. They drop down to 16. Alright, now we can go on to first platoon for the Soviets. Alright, time for Soviet platoon 1. That's a horrible roll. They can bring in all the senior leaders they never had. Alright, they can fire out those windows at this squad and probably splash onto this squad. Wow. They're not going to get all their shooters though. They can get 8 of them. Able to pull 1 shock and get 13 shots out at those 2 squads. We give them light covers because they're shooting between buildings here. Split over basically 3 teams. They're able to score 6 hits though. It's good shooting. Get 2 kills and 2 shocks spread across the unit. They got 1 rifleman's gone. They got a chance for a sergeant getting wounded on that group there. Sergeant is hit. See what kind of wound he takes. Sergeant is wounded. We'll take a bad thing happening for a junior leader wounded. So -2 for second platoon. So he drops down to 16. Senior leader had one extra command, so he pulled a shock off the assault engineers out there, getting them down to 12. That ends first platoon for the Soviets. Kind of a dud there. Go over to German first platoon. We used the 4 to bring in Captain Carmichael, and used the 3 to bring in the rest of the assault engineers. Assault engineers come in across the street. Captain Carmichael uses one command to get them all together as a group, and then he's going to order for his last command. He's going to have these guys behind the bunker fire at that building. 16 shots at effective range in soft cover. Amazing shooting by those gentlemen as they pour 10 hits into this building. Oh wow, just one squad. One kill, 4 shock on that squad. On a 1, the leader's hit. Oh boy, here we go again. A junior and a senior leader in there. Junior leader gets popped. See what kind of damage he takes. Junior leader takes a wound. He's down to 1 command. They take 4 shock in there. Do a bad thing for junior leader hit. That's not good. They nosedive to a 3. No, they don't. They go the other way. Sorry, I went the wrong direction. They go down to 6. Sorry. I was following my bingo card the wrong way. Woo! Went from 8 to 2. That was, yeah, sorry. And, okay. Getting low, though. All right, they still got a 4 and a 3. They're going to combo fire squad again. Here we go. All right, junior leader's going to fire with one of this squad. And then the senior leader is going to order that squad and that squad to fire and pull 1 shock. So all kinds of bullets going into that building again. 59 shots going into that building. Wow. Overperforming with 31 hits on this building. That squad is praying to somebody to get them out of there. They're in trouble. It is going to be hard cover. They're pinned it in soft cover, so boom. This might keep them alive. Well, good news, they took 2 shock. Bad news, they took 12 kills. Wow, that killed them and their family members back home. Oh, that was horrible. That house is the death house. Wow. Everybody's dead in there. That was the scout squad. They're gone. The only good about that is they don't count for platoon casualties, but they're dead. That'll be a bad thing for a junior leader killed and squad wiped out. That's -3 more, taking them down to 3. They will lose 2 command dice when platoon 1 activates. All right, going to Soviet platoon 2 as that nightmare ends over there. Worthless 6, a chain of command dice for platoon 2, and a 4 and a 1. They might keep that a 3 and a 2. These 2 squads are going to advance closer to the wall. These guys are going to run like heck and see if they can assault those guys. They're going to roll 3d6, take a shock. They'll lose 1 dice for going over the wall. They're going to quadruple the Panzerschreck's firepower. So they're going to fall back 3d6, take 8 shock, become broken, and then fall back 2d6 plus 6 more. So we're going to roll a bunch of 6-sided dice and see where they land. Those guys move into that area. They're basically taking over that jump off point. These guys fall back 21 inches with 8 shock and they're broken. I have to give them 1 point of shock. These guys are going to run 3d6 too. Both Soviet platoons advance. They both have 1 shock. And I'm debating if I'm going to look at the end of the rules, ending the turn with their, their chain of command dice and see what kind of benefits I could get from that, or how bad I'll get hurt. We've also got a bad thing for a squad, team broken. German 2nd platoon drops down to 14. 2nd platoon is going to play their chain of command dice to end the turn. They'll capture this jump off point. The Soviets this team will rout from the table, and the Germans are going to have a team, basically a squad is going to rout from the table over there, and some leaders. A little bit of a calculated risk here. Okay, so let's do the Soviets first. They have a team routes from table. 1st platoon loses 2 and then go down to 1, so they're basically going to be combat ineffective. 2nd platoon is going to have bad things for a support unit routes from table and losing a deployment point. 2nd platoon loses 3 and they go down to, where are they at? They go to 11. And 1st platoon is going to have a team routes off table, junior leader, or basically everything's going to route off table here. Now the good thing for the Germans is this entire group is not killed. They're all routed off table, so those don't count for casualties. Platoon for the Germans is going to have team routes, squad routes, and junior leader routes off table. 1st platoon for the Germans is going to lose 4, and that'll take them down to 8. All right, it's getting horrific. So not too terrible for the tactical move. A little bit gamey, but gets it done. All right, platoon 2 for the Germans. All right, Captain Carmichael. He's gonna order this squad to run flat out the engineers, see how far they can get. They'll pick up 1 shock. He'll chase after them and join them and pull that shock with the 4, and then the last 3 he'll have the Pack 40 fire at this building. Assault engineers doing what they get paid to do. Oh yeah, they're assaulting, and they're going to get covering fire from the Pack 40, firing 5 high explosive shots at close range at these guys. They blast a building with 4 contacts. Oh yeah, baby! 2 kills on a 1 or 2. It's one of the leaders. 2 riflemen are killed inside of there. They have 4 shock. They still got enough guys not to be pinned. All right, 1st platoon's up, rolling 1 dice. They roll a big 6. They can't do anything with it. 1st platoon for the Germans. Captain Carmichael's itching to go again. It's a different phase, so he can go all the time, baby. This could be it. Germans get a double phase. They get a 4 and basically a 3. Captain Carmichael activates the assault engineers. They kick off everything. He has 2 extra commands. He uses them to do machine gewehr with the MG42. This is like 1,000,000 shots plus a flamethrower. 7 SMGs, a flamethrower, and a rifle, and machine gewehr against that building at point blank range. Oh, brutality. 39 bullets, basically shots, and 12 from the flamethrower. Going into the building, the orange and the red are the flamethrower. 19 submachine gun hits and 7 flamethrower hits. Flamethrower, of course, ignores cover, and the other guys will be shooting to soft cover. Germans go heavy duty on kills again. Oh, they get a how many kills did that? Hang on. 9 kills. There's not even 9 guys in that building, so that's going to kill a junior leader, a senior leader, and a squad. They have 4 more shock to tack on, but who cares? They're dead. You get bad things for team wiped out, junior leader wiped out, and then the senior leader will getting killed will go off on platoon 2. Let's see if the platoon's wiped out, then they'll take a second bad thing for sister platoon killed. They'll take first platoon to 0. Their forces will come off the battlefield. Oh gosh, they lose also for command dice loss. Oh wow. So we lost 4 of those. So I got 4 of those bad things. And friendly platoon destroyed. Plus the senior leader wiped out. They lose 7 force morale and drop to a 9 after all that. So I got to remove these 2 squads. Both come off the table. The Germans still have they still have stuff to move on this phase. Then they have a double phase. Yeah, and the Soviets are crippling quick. All right. Yeah, they're getting the heck out of Dodge. Second platoon is going to pack up their trash. These 3 squads are going to pull back and get the heck out of here. Oh, what a great game. All right, stand by for the wrap-up. Sorry, I look a little disheveled. Oh well, it's almost time to go to bed for me. Great game. Swung back and forth there for a while. Just, I think the concentration of the Germans on both platoons over here, and then the Soviets trying to wrap around, and they have 3 squads that basically didn't come into the battle. And it just basically, the Germans were able to use everything all the time once they were on the board. The Soviet pre-bombardment was amazing. And then their patrol phase was amazing. And they just kind of, they were doing good, but it's always hard to take these objectives as far as I can tell. So Soviets, they ended up with a force morale combined of a 9. Germans had a 19, so a plus 10 for the Germans, which basically wipes out the casualties they had. First platoon lost 4 guys for the Germans and 2 for the second platoon, but because of that force morale difference, they have no casualties, which is phenomenal for the Germans that don't have much. Soviets, first platoon lost 11 guys. They're going to have 5 dead, 3 out for a game, and 3 can immediately return to duty. I got that right finally. Second platoon, I only had 1 guy killed, so, which is, because you can tell that basically lends credence to what I said before. They just didn't get into the game. I tried, and I was able to deny this whole side of the town for the Germans, but they just kind of condensed over here instead. So almost the Soviet tactics caused this, because the mortar and everything and the tank basically kept the Germans on this side of the board, and there you have it. So whatever. I'll continue to work on tactics, but I think it went pretty good. I played pretty fair. I think across the board, a lot of fun things that happened, and I didn't really pre-plan anything, so it was. I've got a knack for that. So, so they only have 1. The second platoon only has 1 guy that'll be out for a game, so it's not so bad. Mike doesn't have any effect on his force morale because he was out this battle, so he stays at a. Commander's got a -1 on him. The men still haven't forgiven him for the last battle, so he's a -3, and he has no outlook yet until we get to game 4. Doug had a great battle, and you can tell he's right up there in the middle. The boys love him. He was able. His CO has got a +2 on that, so his CO's opinion, he's up to a 4. He's going to get extra force support now, which is great. The men weren't too thrilled with him because of his casualties last game. He had a -1. Now he's up to a 0. He got a +1 on that one, and then no outlook on that. So another German victory. I assume they'll probably choose to reinforce again and get that extra replacement roll when turn 5 gets here. That's what the Germans have got to play the numbers game because they just don't have the numbers. So They will probably reinforce and then allow the Soviets to attack again. But we'll see where that happens. Okay, chain of command. Oh, it's awesome, and the whole at the sharp end stuff is really making this even better for me. So thank you very much to the Two Fat Lardies for coming up with this. It's a phenomenal game. It took me a while to enjoy it. I remember when Travis used to play it on Tabletop CP a lot, I'd be kind of like, oh, chain of command. I was really into bolt action at first, but it grew on me, and so did Sharp Practice, and even Infamy grew on me. I love this system. I have decided that I'll continue to grow the units I have now, but I am going to build an American War of Independence force for the British and for the Continentals, and just keep it a flat size, not let it grow at all. I'll probably buy the Warlord box armies for the British and for the Continentals, and then just have straight up battles with that. I might even do 28 millimeter Japanese guys, because I really am looking forward to doing the detail on those Japanese warriors. I'll have to think about that, but I was thinking about adapting a 28 millimeter infamy in a feudal Japan might be fun, as my infamy army has turned into a basically Hail Caesar. So that's it. So I'm going to continue painting cavalry, which has been a slog, but it's great. And I've got some more. I think I'm going to go American Civil War after that, and work on my 28 millimeters, and then we'll go from there. I think I'm going to do a comparison between two rule sets. I haven't picked out which rule sets I'm going to use, but that's a little ways off still. I got to do some painting first. I'm going to really try to increase the size of those forces, so I can have a little bit of fun. Okay, well that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. Feel free to comment, subscribe, do everything you guys want to do. I appreciate every one of you guys, even if you just watch 15 minutes. That's it's something. At least I hope you find it entertaining, and I hope you get some miniatures painted or just kind of relax and watch this. And that's really the goal. I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy the fact that some of you like this, so that really kind of makes my day. So I'm just happy to be part of this community. You guys are awesome. Have a great week. We'll talk to you later. I go back to work tomorrow, so it was a phenomenal vacation for me. A lot of great things happened, a lot of gaming, a lot of painting, so it checked all the boxes. I'll talk to you later. Bye.